Cluster A is called the odd eccentric cluster. It includes paranoid personality disorder, schizoid personality disorder, and schizotypal personality disorders. The common features of the personality disorders in this cluster are social awkwardness and social withdrawal. These disorders are dominated by distorted thinking. Paranoid personality disorder. The paranoid personality disorder is characterized by a pervasive distrust and suspiciousness of other people. People with this disorder assume that others are out to harm them, take advantage of them, or humiliate them in some way. They put a lot of effort into protecting themselves and keeping their distance from others. They are known to preemptively attack others whom they feel threatened by. They tend to hold grudges, are litigious, and display pathological jealousy. Distorted thinking is evident. Their perception of the environment includes reading malevolent intentions into genuinely harmless, innocuous comments or behavior and dwelling on past slights. For these reasons, they do not confide in others and do not allow themselves to develop close relationships. Their emotional life tends to be dominated by distrust and hostility. Schizoid personality disorder. The schizoid personality disorder is characterized by a pervasive pattern of social detachment and a restricted range of emotional expression. For these reasons, people with this disorder tend to be socially isolated. They don't seem to seek out or enjoy close relationships. They almost always choose solitary activities and seem to take little pleasure in life. These loners often prefer mechanical or abstract activities that involve little human interaction and appear indifferent to both criticism and praise. Emotionally, they may seem aloof, detached, and cold. They may be oblivious to social nuance and social cues, causing them to appear socially inept and superficial. Their restricted emotional range and failure to reciprocate gestures or facial expressions, such as a smile or nods of agreement, cause them to appear rather dull, bland, or inattentive. The schizoid personality disorder appears to be rather rare. Schizotypal personality disorder. Persons with schizotypal personality disorder are characterized by a pervasive pattern of social and interpersonal limitations. They experience acute discomfort in social settings and have a reduced capacity for close relationships. For these reasons, they tend to be socially isolated, reserved, and distant. Unlike schizoid personality disorder, they also experience perceptual and cognitive distortions and/or eccentric behavior. These perceptual abnormalities may include noticing flashes of light no one else can see, or seeing objects or shadows in the corner of their eyes, and then realizing that nothing is there. People with schizotypal personality disorder have odd beliefs. For instance, they may believe they can read other people's thoughts or that their own thoughts have been stolen from their head. These odd or superstitious beliefs and fantasies are inconsistent with cultural norms. Schizotypal personality disorder tends to be found more frequently in families where someone has been diagnosed with schizophrenia, a major mental disorder with the defining feature of psychosis. Cluster B is called the dramatic, emotional, and erratic cluster. It includes borderline personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder. Disorders in this cluster share problems with impulse control and emotional regulation. Antisocial personality disorder is characterized by a pervasive pattern of disregard for the rights of other people that often manifests as hostility and/or aggression. Deceit and manipulation are also central features. In many cases, hostile, aggressive, and deceitful behaviors may first appear during childhood. These children may hurt or torment animals or people. They may engage in hostile acts such as bullying or intimidating others. They may have a reckless disregard for property such as setting fires. They often engage in deceit, theft, and other serious violations of standard rules of conduct. When this is the case, conduct disorder, a juvenile form of antisocial personality disorder, may be an appropriate diagnosis. Conduct disorder is often considered the precursor to antisocial personality disorder. In addition to reckless disregard for others, they often place themselves in dangerous or risky situations. They frequently act on impulse urges without considering the consequences. This difficulty with impulse control results in the loss of employment, accidents, legal difficulties, and incarceration. Persons with antisocial personality disorder typically do not experience genuine remorse for the harm they cause others. However, they can become quite adept at feigning remorse when it is in their best interest to do so, such as standing before a judge. They take little or no responsibility for their actions. In fact, they will often blame their victims for causing their wrong actions or deserving of their fate. The aggressive features of this personality disorder make it stand out among other personality disorders, as individuals with this disorder take a unique toll on society. Histrionic personality disorder. Persons with histrionic personality disorder are characterized by a pattern of excessive emotionality and attention seeking. Their lives are full of drama, so-called drama queens. They are uncomfortable in situations where they are not the center of attention. People with this disorder are often quite flirtatious or seductive and like to dress in a manner that draws attention to them. They can be flamboyant and theatrical, exhibiting an exaggerated degree of emotional expression. Yet simultaneously, their emotional expression is vague, shallow, and lacking in detail. This gives them the appearance of being disingenuous and insincere. Moreover, the drama and exaggerated emotional expression often embarrasses friends and acquaintances, as they may embrace even casual acquaintances with excessive ardor or may sob uncontrollably over some minor sentimentality. People with histrionic disorder may appear flighty and fickle. Their behavioral style often gets in the way of truly intimate relationships, but it is also the case they are uncomfortable being alone. They tend to feel depressed when they are not the center of attention. When they are in relationships, they often imagine relationships to be more intimate in nature than they actually are. People with histrionic personality disorder tend to be suggestible. That is, they are easily influenced by other people's suggestions and opinions. Narcissistic personality disorder. People with narcissistic personality disorder have significant problems with their self-worth stemming from a powerful sense of entitlement. This leads them to believe they deserve special treatment and to assume they have special powers, are uniquely talented, or that they are especially brilliant or attractive. Their sense of entitlement can lead them to act in ways that fundamentally disregard and disrespect the worth of those around them. People with narcissistic personality disorder are preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success and power, so much so that they might end up getting lost in their daydreams while they fantasize about their superior intelligence or stunning beauty. These people can get caught up in their fantasies, that they don't put any effort into their daily life and don't direct their energies toward accomplishing their goals. They may believe that they are special and deserve special treatment and may display an attitude that is arrogant and haughty. This can create a lot of conflict with other people who feel exploited and who dislike being treated in a condescending fashion. People with narcissistic personality disorder often feel devastated when they realize that they have normal, average human limitations, that they are not as special as they think, or that others don't admire them as much as they would like. These realizations are often accompanied by feelings of intense anger or shame that they sometimes take out on other people. Their need to be powerful, admired, and coupled with a lack of empathy for others makes for conflictual relationships that are often superficial and devoid of real intimacy and caring. Borderline personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder is one of the most widely studied personality disorders. People with borderline tend to experience intense and unstable emotions and moods that can shift fairly quickly. They generally have a hard time calming down once they have become upset. As a result, they frequently have angry outbursts and engage in impulsive behavior such as substance abuse, risky sexual liaisons, self-injury, overspending, or binge eating. These behaviors often function to soothe them in the short term but harm them in the longer term. People with borderline tend to see the world in polarized, oversimplified, all or nothing terms. They apply their harsh either or judgments to others and themselves, and their perceptions of themselves and others may quickly vacillate back and forth between all good and all bad. This tendency leads to an unstable sense of self, so that persons with this disorder tend to have a hard time being consistent. They can frequently change careers, relationships, life goals, or residences. Quite often, these radical changes will occur without any warning or advance preparation. Black and white thinking and emotional dysregulation in borderline personality disorder. People with borderline tend to view the world in terms of black and white, or all or nothing thinking. Their tendency to see the world in black and white, polarized terms makes it easy for them to misinterpret the actions and motives of others. These polarized thoughts about their relationships with others lead them to experience intense emotional reactions, which in turn interacts with their difficulties in regulating these intense emotions. The result is that they will characteristically experience great distress, which they cannot easily control, and may subsequently engage in self-destructive behaviors that they do their best to cope. The intensity of their emotions, coupled with their difficulty regulating these emotions, leads them to act impulsively.